What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video, YouTube boys and all that. This is going to be the weekly breakdown. I've taken a bit of a break off this week. I had a few video ideas, but I didn't end up actually shooting them. I was just trying to chill out on the old content stuff, but I will be getting those out this week. But obviously today, this is just going to be going over what trades and what kind of a week it was last week. It was a pretty up and down one. But nonetheless, we still ended in a good amount of profit. We've got 4 traders in there, not only myself now. We've got Calvin, we've got another guy called Brandon, and Connor. Connor hasn't been very active this week. I think he's only taken 2 positions, and he actually just came out at break even. So he'd, taken the common sense route of seeing that the pairs that he was wanting to trade just weren't throwing any setups out, so didn't trade. Calvin was pretty good. It's quite funny. We had some cross positions, as in he was seeing buys, I was seeing sells. We had the same position out on Tuesday for inflation, so that was quite funny. But he put his in the elite group. I put mine in the free group, just to keep the free group happy. But it was quite funny. We had a mixed decision on one day, which I think he was correct, and then the next day I was correct, so it was quite funny. But look, it happens. Biases are always going to be different to other people's. Other people will see something different in the market, perhaps what goes towards their trading strategy or whatever. But I mean, evidently, look, if I was being truthful, then yes, some of the things, especially with gold, it would have been nice to wait for which is what gold's actually done now, is pushing into what I would call my trading strategy. But I also know with gold can just go and drop and fly from wherever it likes. So if we are seeing a bit of resistance, we have to kind of take that into account to be reactive to taking a position in the market. But we'll go over those positions. There wasn't too many other ones that I took this week. I think GA maybe. GU and EU, they're still in the areas that I said that I would be looking to wait for. So they're still there. US oil, very, very just unlucky setup with that. Tapped out and then flew to where I said it was going to fly to. So it's one of them. I'm not going to get butthurt about it, because I was just a little bit off when it came to my entry. Probably I should have waited a little bit longer, but things ticked the boxes and decided to jump in, but it just didn't go according to plan. But we'll have a look at the charts, mainly go over gold and what I can see for this coming week, what I'm going to be waiting for, or still waiting for. So look, here we have gold. Now the setup that we did have on Tuesday, which was obviously inflation. In the chart work section, look, this was the setup that I had sent for gold. This was the setup that I was putting out for gold on Tuesday. This was, before the fact, before anybody starts saying, oh, it was all fake. 12:53 my time, I think that is, on February 13th, which is obviously Tuesday. Push into this sort of area, and then a continuation to the downside, target in 2001, sent out, and then, off of inflation, tapped in, boom, dropped, and continued dropping past 2001. So obviously I gave that setup out in the free group. When it came to this setup, it was one of them. We'd already speculated that inflation was going to come out as positive for the DXY and the yields, and we just had this kind of very, very slow kind of drip feeding up into this previous level of support and resistance, which was 2032, 2030 area. Time frame wise, look, it was quite hard to indicate where we could have a potential push in, but you could kind of say that this area here was, where price was tapping it in and rejecting. We'd had this previous rejection here. 5 minute wise, look, you could say that, look, this here 5 minute order block where money came in, money came out, and pretty much that is where we tapped into. 5-minute order block, tapped into again, and just boom, dropped to the downside. So, you know, we'd seen this area as a good area of interest, so that is the reason why I sent out, and Calvin was on the same position as me as well. So that's always nice. It's always nice to see that people have got the same bias. You know, you could say this is also a 4-hour area of interest because we've got a very small kind of doji candle before money flooded out of this area. So that was the reason for this, and it, you know, it just continued to drop. 2001 was the overall take profit, which it hit fine, and then we actually even started targeting these this imbalance down here. So this imbalance was fully filled. Now I've been going on about this imbalance for the last, I don't know, probably through all of this. So this was finally filled on that move from inflation. Inflation just continued to drop. But I don't believe this is the end of the downward movement. So, with that being said, Friday I sent out a position, or no, was it Friday? Thursday I'd sent out a position, but it just kind of wicked about, didn't really do anything. But we did manage, I think we got stopped out, but then we got another re-entry and made back the pips that we'd lost. It was a little bit higher. It was only to 2,000 or just under 2,000, I think, as well. And then Friday, same position was sent out again from me. I sent out the same position again, and it hit TP1 and TP2. Calvin had seen buys, but he wouldn't have been entirely wrong because buys did actually come after the move down. Now, if we look on the larger time frames, like the 4-hour, you could technically say that the move down and then the move up could have been into this fair value gap here on the 4-hour, if that's the kind of thing that you're trading off, or the time frame that you trade off, 4-hour, and you know, a very, very small unfilled one here, and price basically tapped into both of those and then pushed further to the upside. But we were already at this trade, we were risk free. TP1 was 2,000, TP2 was 1997. Reason why I'd put these two TPs as like the first ones to make it risk free was because I'd already seen that these imbalances had been caused and could potentially have a reaction off of those, which is what it did. The news came out positive for the DXY and the yields, so DXY and yields pushed up, which caused this move down on gold. And then I don't actually know what went on because I was off the charts as soon as I'd kind of seen TP1, TP2 hit, and I'd put out all the indications for people to become risk-free. I closed down the charts and went on about my evening because obviously it was that sort of time for me on a Friday. And then, yeah, gold just decided to produce this 4-hour bullish engulfing candle to the upside into 61.8 and just continuing to fill this imbalance. Now, if we start mapping out where gold could potentially, what potentially gold could do next week. Now, Wednesday, we've got FOMC. Okay, FOMC is probably going to be the deciding factor on whether or not gold goes up or goes down. Now, look, interest rate came out positive, so negative for gold. I don't see why FOMC, you know, the FOMC meeting is normally to give an outlook on whether or not they're going to be raising rates. I don't see why that is going to be now come dovish for the DXY, which means gold would now fly to the moon. I think it's going to be hawkish, so obviously that's good for the DXY and the yields. In retrospect, it means they're raising rates, which would then mean that gold would then push to the downside. So we just got to start building the confluences. Look, you can clearly see that we've got a nice little downtrend here. Again, not every single, you know, touch is happening. We've got A, we've got B. Potentially, we could be waiting for a C. Push into, you know, we could say that this here is a 4-hour order block area, a nice POI. So this sort of area here, what does it line up with? The, you know, just a bit of the trend line, and then the 78.6. So again, fill in this imbalance, tap into the POI and 78.6, you know, respect the trend line, and boom, another leg to the downside. Where's the targets? You know, target is just below this low here. So that is the golden zone, minus 27 extension is this low here. And if you can see over on the right hand side, that is an area of interest there that would be a take profit level for me. And we've got this imbalance here as well, around the 1947, because I mean I truthfully believe that gold is going to have a sell off to the downside, start filling these, you know, imbalances and stuff like that, that were caused off the back of the war kicking off in Israel and all that stuff. So I think this is where gold is going to start making its way to the downside, and, you know, looking for, you know, it could even be potentially 1900s or just below 1900. We could see this area filled over here. That would be nice. But we shall see. Obviously Monday, it'll be interesting to see how Monday plays out daily wise. You know, it has been a good reaction, but it's also, you know, just filling in this imbalance caused by Tuesday's inflation. Weekly, you know, this is the only thing that when you start looking on the higher time frames, the higher time frames, I would have personally liked to have seen a close below 2000 to indicate that we would be going to the further to the downside, but we didn't get that. We kind of just tapped into the same sort of area and, you know, closed above 2000s, which isn't a good indication, but we've still got the monthly as well to take into account, you know, how the monthly is going to close. We've got 11 days left on that. So look, that's kind of my outlook on gold. We're in a good, nice area for shorts if we are looking to go short. Like I said, fib, trend line, POI, imbalance, you know, there's 4 or 5 confluences there that, you know, I would be looking to go short with. So that is the sort of outlook for me. There's nothing really there bullish wise for me to go, right, you know what, I can see this, I can see that. Yes, if I've been paying attention to this bit here, then we could have got a good entry, a nice sort of 13, you know, 130, 140 pip move to the upside. But like I said, you know, when you're in a trade and you're seeing it moving to the downside, you're kind of just watching how price is moving adjacent to your trade. If you are in a short position, not really looking for buys, do you know what I mean? You might look for a reversal pattern, but I'm watching trades on the higher time frame, on the 4 hour and stuff like that. So yes, I could have seen this close here and gone, okay, that's a bit weird. You know, we dumped back down in here, but okay, what indication am I looking for? Right, okay, well, we've got an order block area here, which is also an imbalance on the higher time frames, and we are rejecting this area. Could we potentially be making a move to the upside? You know, sellers are jumping out. And yeah, you know, it would have been a good entry, maybe off the 5 minute. But even then, you know, I would have liked to have seen maybe a kind of a retracement into here before then going long. That would have been something, but it didn't really. Fridays, look, Fridays, it's also it's like a W. There's a W candlestick formation off of the what you could call support, which is a candlestick pattern that basically is a reversal pattern. So W to the top, M, I think. Is it the M on the top as well that's to the downside? But then Fridays, fuckeries can just happen on Fridays. But that is what I'm going to be looking for on golds. We've got 4 or 5 confluences to look out for. So that is my outlook on gold. US oil, I will show you the setup that we got very, very unlucky with. I was watching this on the 5 minute time frame, and just one of them. I could see this rounded bottom formation, okay? and was waiting for structure to break this high, which it kind of did. So this high here. So we broke structure on this candlestick here, and I was like, right, boom. This is my entry. So I sent out my entry, 76.35 to 76.400. Seeing this imbalance area here, and yeah, look, it was one of those early entries that just didn't work out, and it just completely fucked us. But oil I've never really traded before, so this is me just like learning a new pair, or learning a new commodity. So we asked around, and you know, it's one of those. It didn't really give a amazing indication after that, to be honest, and I was off the charts. But you know, looking back in time now, which is the benefit of hindsight, you know, yes, there's many presented entries. You know, you've got this imbalance here, which was again around my area that I sent out, but I wasn't watching anymore, and that would have been the move. That would have been the move to the upside, and you know, it would have been a nice 100 pip move, but oh well, we missed out. Couldn't really have played it out anymore, but tested it out. But it's one of those things. It's one of those that I will continue to test out, probably by myself. Look, again, same sort of thing, same sort of deal. You could have seen this nice imbalance here. Tweezer bottom on the 4 hour, and then a push to the upside. So, you know, it's one of those. I like testing pairs out. I like trying to give myself a bit of, you know, enthusiasm to look at other stuff other than the pairs that I'm actually currently trading. Euro USD, I had nothing on there. This was a setup that I was looking at, but I'm glad I didn't send it out. It wasn't, it was invalid. So next setup for me is going to be up in this area here. And I think I've gone over these multiple times, and that was this is dating back to, I think, 2nd of Feb, so that will be NFP. This is still an NFP setup that I'm waiting on to be filled. Same with GU, I still feel like, you know, depending on how FOMC comes out, whether or not we'll have a tap into here and then a continuation, or we are literally going to be pushing up to fill in these imbalances on USD pairs. But again, it's guys, it's the same as kind of last week. Just a lot of choppiness. Looking at stuff on the higher time frames, this is just a lot of choppy price action. GA, same with GA, didn't really have anything map out, to be honest. Yeah, so this came off the back of GBP news. I'm pretty pissed that I missed this, because I was looking at some sell entries when I started seeing this this accumulation up here, and I just sort of saw price kind of declining down. But this kind of triggered when I was just waking up. So this sort of area here, once I'd seen that kind of bearish engulfing candle, would have been a nice kind of entry, and you could have just put your stops above there, you know. And this is around the support level of 195. So 195 flat was the support that we broke above the previous week, and we were kind of just resting around up here. And then I think GBP, I want to say GBP inflation rate came out, and that is what made us push to the downside. And that was on all GBP pairs. GBP JPY, same deal. This is actually Brandon's setup, or was Brandon's setup here, but I think he closed out at 189. But it would have been nice to hold it, to be fair. I still feel, yeah. I mean, easily on this, you know, we can say that price is pushing into this imbalance here. So, you know, and this could be a retracement or reversal. I mean, we did have kind of an ugly bounce off of the 78.6 down here, but Looking on the higher time frames on the 4 hour. Want to see how it kind of reacts, because look, if we take this off, and let's get rid of that as well. That clear imbalance, look, clear imbalance filled on the 4 hour. Did spike a bit lower, but again, seeing things on the 4 hour now, this is where the 4 hours are very, very good, powerful time frame to trade off of. If you have the equity to do it. It's a bit more of a swing trader type time frame. But look, even off the close of that candle there, you know, you put your stops just below the low. 37 pip stop loss. You know, that shows that the imbalance in this sort of area is a good support. And even off the close of that candle, boom, you would have gone to the upside for a nice trade. But yeah, take this off. That low I've marked out to be taken. So look, we could have this happening on GBP JPY, which, you know, we are the highest GBP JPY has ever been. And the only reason why I'm saying this is also UK has gone into recession. So means that GBP is not got as much strength. And I said this before. I said all of this, like all this bollocks up here, smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors. The market will show you smoke and mirrors until the realness comes out on how strong that currency pair actually is. Do you know what I mean? And I've said it before, there was no reason why GBP was to show this kind of strength. When we all know it's on the news, it's on fucking socials. The UK is just fucking dead, guys. Like, Rishi Sunak thinks he's doing a fucking amazing job. No, he ain't. He's put you guys into a recession and so much more. So this is where I'm feeling like maybe the push on GBP is over. So again, have to see how this kind of marks out on Monday, how we open up. And that is pretty much it. AUD USD is not really showing anything much either. Didn't trade this. It's just, it's tough. With things that look like this, you're better off just waiting for your areas. Do you know what I mean? Yes, okay, we tapped into this, but I still think AUD's got lower to go. And we've got AUD Royal Bank of Australia happening on the 20th, and that could make that final push down to the downside, which would be then when I'm looking to jump in. This just wasn't, for me, wasn't a good enough reason to jump in. We took that low, we filled that gap a little bit, or the remainder of that gap, and yeah, did push up from there, but it would have been a slow movement. AUD USD stayed out. GA again, in order to continue this short, I'd want to see a return back into this area. Personally, I'd want to see a push back into here. You know, we've kind of broken out of this channel here. We could say that this area here, which we could also use as a kind of retracement and a retest of the kind of downward channel or trend line, whatever. That would be something I'd be waiting on. GA, this area or this area. Those are the 2 points of interest for me. Order block area here. So that one there would be another area of interest for me up there. 195. Do I think it's got enough momentum to go up there? Maybe not. Maybe off the back of if AUD news comes out and it's negative for AUD, then yes, we could see GBP push back up into here, which also would mean that AUD would push down into here, fill this gap, boom, then AUD push to the upside, and then GA to the downside. So that would be something that I'd be looking on GA. US 30, again, a US 30 is another thing that I've just been playing around with and trying to learn. I sent out a few trades on it last week. We got, you know, maybe 30, 40 pips, maybe a little bit more. I actually took this trade on Friday. Personally, I didn't send it out though. And yeah, it was targeting 38,500. That was where I'm targeting. So I'm still holding that trade from 38,740. So I think that, according to my mate, you know, the pip count on US 30 is a little bit different to any others. So like 38,700 to 38,600 is 100 pips. So that's why people make so much money off of US 30. I only just realized. BTC, Bitcoin. I've got mixed reviews about this. I don't think we are going to be pushing up from here. Personally, I just don't think. I think this is just trapping people into thinking that we're going long, and it's just going to have a big sell-off. That's my thought process on it. But yeah, I'm actually joining a group because I don't really know much about altcoins and crypto coins and stuff like that. I'm actually joining a group this week. It's a guy that I've been talking to for a bit, and I'm going to join his group and actually see, because I've got a lot of money in crypto, because you know my withdrawals from my brokers that I work with, they're all in crypto. So I've got crypto that just kind of sits there, and I don't want it in things like Bitcoin, especially now. I've actually taken my money out of Bitcoin and just put it in USDT. So with it just being sat in USDT is just a bit pointless. So I'd like to see if there's any like coins and stuff that people think are gonna, you know, do well. Start putting some money into that, some investments into that. But you know, if there's anything that actually comes about in this group that I'm joining, then I will probably let my members know that, oh, this one looks like it's a good coin or whatever, according to the guys in this group. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. Gold, looking for shorts. GA, continue the shorts. Again, EU, looking for shorts. GU, looking for shorts. Just looking for shorts on most stuff, guys. AUD, you know, again, looking for shorts. It's pretty much, I'm in a bearish market right now. So I'm bearish on most pairs and commodities, gold-wise. Oil, I'm not too sure on. Again, it's not something that I really know much about, but I would hazard a guess and say that this is potentially just retracing into these areas here. Maybe 8,200 would be potential short. But the main ones that I'm focusing on, I'm short on most pairs, most USD pairs, and gold. So that is pretty much that for the charts. So yes, guys, looking a bit red. I was in the sun yesterday, so I've caught a bit of a tan. That is the weekly breakdown, weekly forecasts. We did have a relatively good week last week, so you know, that's good. So you know, trying to keep the guys entertained, keep other things coming in. So, you know, again, if you want to get involved in that, then just drop me a message on Instagram. My Instagram is at the bottom here. You know, you can see it. Adam took that. That is my only Instagram. Do not worry just don't entertain any of the fake profiles that message you. That I don't message people first. I especially don't message people going, hey, how's your trading going? So just ignore those ones. Also, guys, look, I think I've done it in enough videos now to warrant a lot of you knowing about it or wanting to or getting involved with it already. This was the algorithm. The algorithm last week. We ended on, I think it was about 5%. So far since it's been going, there's 47% gain. Now, the one thing I do want to talk about when it comes to this algorithm is, look, the same rules apply in regards to risk management. And the only reason why I talk about this is because I can go through every single person's profile that is involved in this, and I can see some people are being stupid. They're obviously putting fixed lot sizes on their accounts. That means that their percentage gains are actually a hell of a lot more than what the algorithm is actually doing. If you are putting a higher lot size on, that your account balance shouldn't really have on it, then your percentage gains might be 10% for the week, because you're over risking. So when it comes to the algorithm, guys, please do not start doing that stupid shit. It is with Axie. I don't know why people seem to think that I work with FXS or any other fucking broker, because all of my videos I say Axie, FCA regulated broker. So the copy trader, or the algorithm is only on Axie. So I don't know why people are trying to download the Axie copy trader app and link their FXS MT4 fucking broker to it. Like, it ain't working. It will not work. You have to be with Axie to be able to get involved in this. So with that being said, message me and I'll tell you the process and send you the content on how you get involved in that. Obviously there is a fee. 10% goes to Axie, 25% goes to the algorithm guys that own it. But look, I'm involved in it and I have to pay the same fee. So before anybody gets butthurt, look, I'm paying the same fees as well. But that is it. That's the only thing that you have to pay. So, it's a nice, easy 4 or 5% a week. Set, forget. Leave the money in there. Don't have to touch it. Don't have to look at it. No, you can't place any of your own trades on there. Said about this before. So that's the algorithm. Also, in regards to the investment group, the free group or whatever, look, I know some people that are in the investment group aren't going to be in the elite group, so they don't get the same benefits. But look, I'm trying to make the investment group a little bit more beneficial, learning-wise, a little bit more resourceful and interesting and valuable than what I see a lot of free groups be. And this will be, reason why I give videos of me breaking down the trades, or the reason why I'm taking those trades, and this, that, and the other, so that you guys that are in the free group, you can build up a bit of knowledge whilst you go along. Because obviously my YouTube stuff is out there for free for you to learn. That's, well known by now, because I post the videos in the group all the time. But, you might not get to see the reason why I'm taking this setup before the setup comes out. The chart work. A lot of these things that these groups or people's groups or these social media influencers groups do not do. Okay? So, in order for you to understand what's authentic and what's legit, you need to have this sort of stuff that comes through. The chart markups, the breaking down the trades. I don't think there's one person that I've come across or who is involved in any other groups that has said, oh yeah, he does this, he does that. They literally just post a signal. They'll post an MT4 shot of them making stupid money, which is not the case. Because look, okay, let's for argument's sake, understand one thing. So these guys that are trading with 10 lot size, okay? I've gone through the lot size, the video and this, that, and the other, taking into account that every trade, every £100 that you have in your trade equivalents to a 0.01 lot size, okay? So with that being said, £1,000, 0.1. £10,000, one lot. And that's on one trade, just one. You can't take any more once you place that one lot on 10,000. Otherwise, you'll be over risking. A 10 lot, £100,000. And that's just one trade. Any more over that, you are over risking. 10 lots, so 100 lots would be £1 million. Okay? So if someone has got 5 10 lots, please take into account that their balance should be 500 grand in their trading balance for them to warrant placing a 10 lots 5 times. Okay? On gold, they should be splitting that into half anyway. You should never really trade your max lot size on gold, because gold can, you've got to have a wider stop loss and this, that, and the other. So when you see these people placing 5 or 6 10 lot positions, they have to have that equivalent in their balance. 6 10 lots, 600k. If they say that's complete bollocks, they have zero knowledge about risk management. They have zero knowledge about leverage and all that sort of stuff. So please, if you're involved in these groups and you just see MT4 shots getting thrown around with "I'll jerk me off" like type vibes, amazing group. You'll get so much knowledge out of that. Put it that way. So that's the reason why I do the stuff that I do in the free group. But look, that is the weekly breakdown, guys. It's a little bit shorter this week because obviously I don't have as many pairs on the table as I normally had or did have. So that is what we're looking for the next week. But look, if you want to get involved, guys, just drop me a DM on Instagram. I will show you the process, all that sort of jazz, and we'll get ready for Monday. Algorithm, you know, the groups, manual trades, all of that sort of stuff. So I will see you in the next one.